In today's video, I want to show you all the appointment setting strategies that I have been using for my business in order to go from $0 to $30,000 cash collected in a matter of 3 to 4 months. And these are the methods that we use in order to book 200 appointments. And at the same time, these are some of the things that I saw as an appointment setter, because when I had this job, I was making for this company $30,000 a month cash collected, and we went from $30,000 to $80,000 cash collected as well. So I want to show you some interesting things. I can tell you this with experience. This is not something that I read in a book, something that I saw just in a course. These are some of the things that I have used for my business and for my clients. So again, these are the methods that we use, and the thing is that these methods are mainly useful, especially if you don't want to spend a lot of money in paid traffic, because with paid traffic, the strategies are going to be a little bit different, and this is not, like, in my opinion, the best way to start scaling your business. And this is something that we did organically, just with one appointment setter. But here you can see the strategies, and I want to go I want to go into the details of all of these strategies. Overall, we're going to talk about the conversational flow, a direct offer. This is like the second method. The third method is like a hybrid, a conversation between a conversational flow and a direct offer, and at last, a personalized system. And before I start talking about the whole process and pros and cons about these strategies, I want to mention a really important concept, and this is personalization. So I wanted to add this simple diagram just to explain why personalization matters. And the main reason why we always want to add more personalization is because we as humans like personalized things. We like to see our name, we like to hear our name as well, we like to see our pictures, we like to see our profiles, we like to see us. And when someone gives us something that is personalized, we are going to be more likely to respond, and we're going to be more likely to move forward. So for example, if someone is trying to sell me a watch, if it has my initials versus a generic watch, it is very likely that I am going to end up paying for the watch that has my initials, even though maybe it is not like the watch that I really wanted. So that's why we always want to add personalization. Especially if you're starting out, more personalization can help you to book more appointments. So if you're starting out, or if you are below $10,000 a month, I would say that you must add as much personalization as you can. And I am going to give you some examples in a minute. But here, the only problem with personalization is that it will require, of course, this is going to give you more results, but it will require more time. And of course, no personalization means that you can easily automate this process, but it is going to give you less results. So if you are starting out, I would say that you have to be like right here. You have to add as much personalization as you can in order to get your first appointments, your first clients, your first $10,000 month. And then once you are scaling your business, now that's when you can start to delegate a couple of tasks. Maybe it's not necessary to be to keep using a super personalized approach, strategy. So in this case, you can move here, right here, right here. And ideally, you're gonna stay here, something that is scalable, but something that is a little bit personalized. So that is kind of like the whole goal. In a minute, I will show you some examples, but if you're starting out, always try to add as much personalization as you can. But now let me show you the real examples. That's just an important concept that I have seen, because the thing here, guys, the biggest players in the game are not adding personalization to their messages. So the best way to compete against them is just by adding more personalization. So you have to differentiate yourself by using your weaknesses as your strength. But now let me talk about the strategies. So first, I want to talk about the conversational flow. This is pretty simple, or actually it is kind of like the most complex system, even though it is not that hard. But in this process, you're gonna basically ask a couple of questions. And I forgot to say that these appointment setting strategies are mainly for DM appointment setting, for a DM appointment setting process. So this is mainly for you if you are using LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram in order to book appointments. Because if you are using the phone, it is a little bit different. And I want to create another video about that, because we have also worked with appointment setters that book appointments on the phone. Some of them called cold prospects, and some of them handle warm leads. But I want to talk about that in another video. Today, this is just about DM setting strategies. So when it comes to the conversational flow, this is how the process looks like. So you are going to ask for more information about the current situation of the prospect, then you're going to ask for more information about their desired situation, then the roadblocks, and with that information you are going to propose a call. And the main reason why you want to ask these questions is because if you have this information, now you can use this information against the prospect, right? And when I say against, I am not saying this in a bad way. I'm just saying that you can use the information that they just gave you in order to tailor a message just for them. So you're gonna propose a call, and of course with follow-ups you're gonna end up booking a call. So here you're gonna ask for more information. For example, where are you currently at with your business? How many clients do you have? Let's say that you're selling another service. Where are you at in your life with this specific area, with this specific thing? And then what's your goal, of course? What's the main thing that is holding you back from getting to that point? And then of course, using that information, you're gonna propose a call. The main reasons why you want to use this strategy, the main kind of like the main scenarios is if you are a coach or if you have an offer that is not business oriented. Because if it is business oriented, it is very likely that a lot of people already seen this message before. So it is really, the pros are that this is gonna be pretty much non-salesy because it is just gonna be a normal conversation. Pretty much you would say that you could have a genuine conversation, even though it is not that genuine, because of course everybody is going to, not everybody, but most people are gonna understand that you're gonna try to sell them something at some point, but it is more genuine compared to making a direct offer right away. Some of the examples that I want to show you in a minute. And this is great for coaches, like I said before. But the main cons is that this doesn't really work if you are using an outreach, if your main results are depending only on outreach, on outbound, right? Because if you only depend on outbound, then this strategy is not gonna work really well. Just imagine starting a conversation with a cold prospect. You're saying, hey, how's it going? Versus saying something that is valuable, versus providing value from the get-go. It is less likely that you're gonna get appointments if you have this kind of a strategy. And also, it's more efficient. This is kind of like a con, but at the same time, it is like a pro. This is a process that is more efficient if you already have an audience. And this can take 5 times to 10 times more time, 5 times to 10 times more compared to other strategies in order to book a call. So let me rephrase that. It can take 5 to 10 times more time. Does that make sense? It can take more time to book a call with this kind of framework because you're gonna have to ask more questions, you're gonna have to wait for the response for those questions, and everything is just gonna take longer. And not everybody likes this type of conversation, especially if you are if you are talking with sophisticated buyers. A lot of them are gonna tell you like, just get straight to the point. But this is the conversational flow. This is mainly for coaches or for people that already have an audience. The second option is that you can make a direct offer. So the process, of course, is very, very simple. In this case, you're just gonna start with the offer in the first message from the get-go. So basically, you're gonna say, hey, I want to go straight to the point. We are helping right now business coaches to scale their business using video ads, I don't know, BSL funnels. It can be anything, right? But you can make the offer right away. In some cases, this can work. I am not saying that this is not gonna work. This can work because maybe you're gonna hit someone that actually has that potential problem, right? That problem, and in that case, you can actually book a call, especially if you have more content in your profile. And for all of these strategies, I forgot to say this but it is always great to have content. Even if it is the conversational flow, the direct offer, or the personalization, always you need to have content. And you need to have Instagram stories, Facebook stories, you need to have content. But here, with the direct offer, you're gonna propose the call right away. And I would say that this is mainly important. This is gonna be mainly useful for LinkedIn. This is gonna be mainly useful for offers that, especially for people that just want to target a lot of people right away, people that are gonna sell something that can work for everybody. But at the same time, for example, on LinkedIn, even in that case, you're not gonna get a lot of responses. So the cons are that you're gonna get a low response rates. You're gonna get negative responses. Some people are gonna get angry a lot of times. You're gonna get a higher potential to getting banned because you are using the same message on Facebook and Instagram, and of course they don't like that. But of course, some pros are that this can be really easy to automate. For example, if you are sending a message that is the same, it's not necessary to hire someone to send these messages. You can just automate this process with a software, but the problem is that of course you're gonna get less responses. However, if in some cases, if you're sending 1,000 messages and you're booking, let's say 10 appointments, then maybe you are not booking a lot of calls, but if you're not spending any time, then in that case, maybe it can make sense. So it depends on the platforms that you want to use. Just be aware that you're gonna get less responses, but of course this can be easier to automate. And of course some people like this because you're going straight to the point, and in some cases this can work. So this is easy to automate, this is easy to execute. The next process is something that I really like to use for a lot of clients, and in this case this is like a hybrid between a conversational flow and a direct offer. So in this case you're gonna start the conversation kind of like in a genuine way, with a first message that is more genuine. But you can do two things. You can start asking questions, questions that are a little bit direct, or you can start making an offer subtly. So for example, you can say something like, would it be okay if I bring you more leads for your real estate business in the next 2 weeks? So this is kind of like a direct offer, but it is not the same as the direct offer right here, because in the direct offer you have like 2-3 big messages where you explain everything, and if they say yes, they are gonna book a call, and if they say no, then you just have to follow up. But in this case, if they say no, you can actually continue the conversation. And here with the qualifying questions, you can also use this in order to have like a better offer for them. So for example, let's say that you're helping coaches to edit videos. In that case, maybe you have to ask a couple of questions. Are you using Facebook ads? Are you using YouTube ads? Because if they are using YouTube ads, maybe they need someone that can help them to record really good video ads. If that's the case, then maybe your offer is gonna be more on that side. So maybe you are not gonna help them to edit their YouTube videos. Maybe you can actually help them to edit their video ads. So in some cases, you can ask some questions in order to create like the right offer for them, to make them the right offer. And then after this, this is kind of, in some cases you can start with this right away. In some cases you can start just by asking 2 or 3 questions, or in some cases you can mix this together. And then after that you have to create curiosity, build authority. You have to show off a little bit. You're not gonna show off like, yeah, we actually made $100,000 in just 1 month. Would you like to hop on a call? You don't want to do something like that. However, in that case, what you can do is to talk about what you have done for your clients subtly. So you can say, for example, something like, yeah, so yeah, well, and right now, do you have, for example, do you have a video editor? Because one of our clients was able to scale their business from $0 to $10,000 just with video ads, for example. And then you kind of like showed off a little bit, but in a subtle way, because you didn't show off like right away. You kind of like explain this with a story. So talking about the stories is always really helpful. And you can show off subtly so that you can again create this curiosity and build authority. And after this, you're gonna propose the call using the information that they gave you again. So with the direct offer, you cannot do this, of course, because you are just making the offer. In some cases, this is not gonna hit the prospect. In some cases, it can hit them. But by asking a couple of questions, you can actually tailor your offer towards your prospect. So maybe if you are offering video editing services, maybe here you are targeting a coach that doesn't want video editing for their YouTube videos. Maybe they want video editing for their clients. So that's why here you can add these questions in order to create kind of like the right proposal for them, for this appointment, for this call. And of course, always with follow-ups, you're gonna end up booking more calls. In all of these processes, you always need to focus on follow-ups. 50% of the clients that you're always going to get are gonna come from follow-ups, probably even more. So always follow-ups are important. And in this case, the main cons about this process is that it requires more supervision, because even if you place an appointment setter here, you will have to check their conversations. It will require kind of like you will need to have a great offer, a great service from the get-go in order to get more responses. So for example, if I am helping my clients to get more clients, then my first message is going to be very different compared to someone that is going to help people to improve their spiritual life. So that's why in that case, maybe this approach is not gonna be great. So your offer needs to be attractive from the get-go. This is like the perfect case scenario. For example, if you have a performance-based offer, here, this is kind of like the best option that you can have. Another thing, is that it can become like a long conversation. It can become like the other conversational workflow. People are going to start having a genuine conversation. This is good, but the problem is that sometimes it can take a lot of time. And the pros, of course, is that this is easier to automate compared to the conversational flow, because in this case you can have scripts, more scripts. You can have a kind of like an easier automation process. Again, you can have a more natural conversation. And if this is working, this can be easily scaled. In fact, this will be kind of like the best way to scale an outreach strategy. Something like asking these direct messages, but at the same time, asking these direct questions, but at the same time, making an offer subtly. So this is kind of like the best for agencies and the best for coaches that have an offer that is more about business, where the results that they are helping their clients to get are more tangible, if that makes sense. So the last part is just a personalized approach. In my experience, like I said before in the last slide, if you add more personalization to your appointment setting process, you are always going to book more appointments. So in this case, what you can do is to offer something valuable for free, but it should be always personalized. So for example, if you edit videos if you edit videos for your clients, then you can edit maybe a quick video for your prospects, right? If you're helping them to build websites, maybe you can build a quick website for them. And this doesn't have to be something complex. Maybe it is just a template, but it is just an idea. If you're helping them, maybe for example, I don't know, it depends on your offer, right? But the idea is to give something valuable and something that is personalized. And after this first message where you personalize this, where you add this personalization, maybe you're gonna give them the video, maybe you're gonna send them a personalized Loom video, maybe you can send them a specific template, a contract for them. Let's say that you're a lawyer, maybe you can give them a contract. I don't know. There are a lot of options that you can use here. The idea is to give them value. And after you give this value, the cool part about adding this personalization is that you're gonna create this effect of them wanting to give you something back. So always if someone gives us something, we want to give them something back. So because of that, they are going to be more likely to respond, they are going to be more likely to continue with the conversation. And after this, you can propose the call right away. In some cases, for example, if you are recording the personalized Zoom video, you can propose the call right away. And in some cases, the conversation is going to continue. Even though you created this personalized message, this personalized video or something like that, even in that case, sometimes you will still have to have a conversation with them. But it is going to be more simple to book the appointment after you started the conversation with something like this. And as always, you're going to need follow-ups. Something that I completely forgot to say is that ideally in all of these processes, you're going to have personalization in the first lines in the message so that you can get more responses. That's just my personal opinion. But yeah, those are the main things when it comes to this last option. The cons is the main cons are that this requires more time, of course. This is harder to scale. It is going to be harder to delegate these tasks, but at the same time, you're going to get a higher response rate. You're going to get positive responses, and you're going to have like a good mix between value and an offer, because you're going to make the offer, but at the same time, you're proposing something valuable. So this is like the perfect match. But it's very interesting because, again, it depends on the offer, it depends on your client, or it depends on your business. Because with some of my clients, we actually got better results with the conversational flow, even though we started with a personalized system. With other clients, we actually got better results with the hybrid system. With other clients, we got better results with the personalized system. I would say that for the most part, we have never seen great results with the direct offer, but we have seen that in some cases they work. Some people are gonna get this message and they're gonna say yes, and they can actually book a call and become a client. So this works, especially for LinkedIn, something like that. But those are the main things that I wanted to explain today. Hopefully this video was valuable. If you have more questions about this appointment setting strategies, about how all of this works, send me a message or send me a DM on Instagram as well. Make sure to subscribe to this channel, hit the like button, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.